3, 2, 1.
Pz.N.qZ, manifesting on the highest plane, 7 circle on my brain.
Activation, conscious stimulation for the nation. R.U.O.N.yR, Pz.N.qZ. Today I'd like to talk about a rally that took place over the weekend in South Carolina. Now the rally was all about this Confederate flag that has been banned from the state capitol. So in this rally, the KKK, so-called white supremacist groups, decide to show up in support of the Confederate battle flag. Now, most Americans look at this flag as a symbol of hate, racism, and slavery, while at the same time, some Southerners who support this flag say it represents their history and a part of their heritage. So they feel like it's discrimination against their heritage, as if we're trying to cover up their history. Now see, the funny thing is, most successful white Southerners were actually either slave owners or people who had family businesses. The rest of the whites were actually in poverty and couldn't afford to have slaves. So when it comes to them protecting slavery and the Confederate flag, what were they really fighting for? It's a trip, because most people that support the Confederate flag, they refuse to acknowledge the racist, wicked history behind that flag. Talking about some history. It's their heritage. So your heritage is slavery, rape, and murder. You know what I'm saying? Because given the fact that most of y'all didn't own slaves, that means the other people like the KKK were just some pissed off white people. As we all know, the whole banning of the Confederate flag was brought about after the massacre of 9 black people inside of a church by this racist white man named Dylan Roof. He's now facing 9 counts of murder, and he's gonna go on trial sometime next year. When this massacre first happened, it's a shame that they were mainly focused on how disturbed this white boy was, or he shouldn't have had a gun, rather than focusing on racism in America and how that influenced him. That part wasn't even spoken on. You know, he wasn't called a thug and all these different descriptive words that they usually use against black people who engage into different violent crimes. Another thing about this murderer, he claimed he was trying to bring on a race war. I think he's doing a good job so far, because since that happened, you have a lot of racists coming out, including Donald Trump, who's running for president right now. I can't believe he's actually at the top of the charts for the presidential run, even though that's all bullshit anyway. You know, 2 wings of the same bird. You know the story. Now during the rally, the police did their best to try to keep a border in between the racist Klan members and the people that were against it. At one point, you had a few black people even ripping up Confederate flags. And at the end of the day, about 5 people got arrested. About 7 people had to be taken to the hospital for minor bumps and bruises. You know, it was a battle. It was a clash. Now during the rally, the KKK members really didn't even have a speech. They couldn't, because there was so many people that was against them. So they just spent most of their time just ranting and raving about racism, about their racist views, and you know, why they deserve to fly their flag. And you know, some was even talking about that the solution is a white revolution. This is what they claim. Now the people that were there to rally against the Klan members were the Black Panthers, the Black Educators for Justice group, and even some non-blacks showed up. So while the Confederate flag was flying, you also saw that red, black, and green flag flying. This is the Pan-African flag, which was designed by the UNIA back in the 1920s, a group held by Marcus Garvey. If you didn't know, the red is for the blood and the struggle. Black is for the people of color, and green is for the land, the symbol of hope and a liberated future, which black heroes has been speaking about since we've been in this country. But see, one thing about the Black Panthers, the news always trying to make them out to be the ones that's racist, when they are the ones that respond like men to situations involving injustice against black people. And it's a shame that those elders down in South Carolina talking about they forgive him. Forgive him for what? You know, that scary bow down, some would call Uncle Tom and Jigaboo, just to keep other white people comfortable. But who's trying to keep us comfortable? We need strong black men like the Black Panther group that are unapologetically supportive of the liberation of black people. That's not racist. That's called being strong. This country go to other countries all the time, killing people, blowing people up for so-called democracy. But when it comes to us being vigilant and strong about our cause, we're racist and violent. There was about 2,000 people that showed up for this rally, and most of them were against the KKK. Matter of fact, the Klan was outnumbered by 10 to 1. So I guess we won that battle because the Klan members and the supporters of the Confederate battle flag had to leave an hour early before they were scheduled to do so. And another thing about this Confederate flag, it's not even the flag that matters. That flag coming down don't change nothing. It's still the same country. Slavery existed under the regular American flag. It's about racism as a whole, not some flag. Because racism and white supremacy has a stronghold over different flags all throughout the world. There's many areas in the world that are being dominated by white supremacy under different flags. So let's not be confused about the flag. Let's focus on the actions of white supremacy and the power that it has over colored people all around the world. The oppressive power. It's time to wake up, my people. Stay strong and do your research. Don't be ignorant and just listen to the news, because they're going to send you down the path of what they want you to think about. And we also can't forget that the media is controlled by white supremacy. All of these Klan members are just stuck in a time that don't exist any longer. Their reason for white supremacy is not even the same reason as the real white supremacists, the rich ones. Real white supremacists don't even wave no flag. They wear suits. They work in corporate positions. They run the prisons. They wear badges. They're judges. They're the ones that control the laws. So pay attention, my people. Now, the group that was against the Klan members, were they on their P's and Q's? Yes, they was. Of course, the Klan wasn't. That's not even a question. Now, for those who support liberation and positive energy, support my new album called Birth Effect, Year 1, BE. It's only $1 to download the whole album. You can find it on bandcamp.com or cdbaby.com. The links are below. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All links are below. Till the next time I see you, stay on your P's and Q's. Peace, love, and balance.